Welcome back. In this episode, we're going to show you guys our 1973
Jag
XJ6. So why is this car so cool? Let me show you guys. First off, it's an XJ6 and it's a Series 1, which is super cool because Series 1 was the only XJ6 to have a short wheelbase. So you can see this space and this space actually look good. On Series 2 and beyond, they started doing this extended rear door, and it just, you know, they wanted more space in there because it's a long car and it's not very big inside, but it kind of ruined the proportions. What's especially interesting about this car in particular is the drivetrain. Now, I would never be able to afford an XKE, but this is a four-door XKE. Let me show you why. So in America, these only came with twin SU carbs. This is triple SU HD8s and an intake off of an E-Type. Not sure what year. I'm sure someone on the internet could tell me, but I bought this car non-running and rebuilt the fuel system basically to try to get her going, and she's driving beautifully. I have all new parts in here. I've polished a ton of this stuff, but I'm not the one who swapped it in here. Apparently the first owner was a dentist and the second owner was an aircraft mechanic, and he's the one that did the majority of the modifications of this car. The other cool thing is that all of the XJ6s that came to America, as far as I know, unless they're a gray market, came with an automatic. However, this has a 4-speed, probably stolen out of an XKE. I'm not sure, it might be a Mark 10. I haven't been able to figure it out, but it drives beautifully, it shifts without grinds, and it has a brand new clutch master cylinder, because that failed last year. Interior is really nice. It had a sagging headliner, which I fixed with some wooden strips to help wedge it up there, and it hasn't been a problem since. I've also added Euro taillights to this car. You can see that unlike most of the domestic ones, which were solid red, there's amber up here. I did not replace the reflector housing, so it still lights up like an American car, but you still get most of the amber. Likewise, in the front of the car, you can see that I've replaced the headlights with the 7-inch headlights that actually fit the design of the fender. For some reason, I think it was due to the Department of Transportation, they had to have equal size headlights here in the States, and it just ruined this car aesthetically. The other thing that made this car kind of especially ugly was 1973 had 1-year only bumper overriders, which were these big hoops. I've gotten rid of those and installed some classic Series 1 overriders. So basically the thing looks like a Series 1 from the front with Euro headlights, and in the back we have almost all Series 1, but the trunk lid is Series 2. Speaking of which, this is the original plate. This is a California car. You can see that it was last registered in 1989. As much as I want to keep it, the plate is coming with this car because it should stay with it. This was a pretty interesting car, not only in terms of the fact that it still got the blue plate, but also where it was sold. This was sold at the first Jaguar dealership in the United States. I did a video about that. You can click up here, but it was sold in Hollywood, California, and my dream was to get this thing running and road trip it back to California and get the oil change done at the Jag dealership. That's gonna have to be someone else's goal because I've got way too many cars right now, and this is actually going to be auctioned on Bring a Trailer. I'm gonna put a link down in the description if you wanna buy this thing. This video should be coming out right when the auction is live.
And if the next owner does drive it to California, we demand pictures.
Now this is definitely not a show car. The paint's original. It's got tons of chips, and the weather stripping is pretty shot.
And even though I hate the color, apparently it's actually kind of rare and cool, and it's called Primrose Yellow.
Pale Primrose Yellow.
Pale Primrose Yellow. And it does look a lot better in the sun. Looking at it in the garage, I had opinions.
Yeah.
I like it a little better out, nice and shined up in the sun.
It's very bright. You can see we've got some paint missing right here. But what's awesome about this car is since it was a Cali car and never driven in winter here in the Midwest, it's extremely solid. Everything on this car has come apart. You can see that the pinch weld is perfect. There's some surface corrosion, you know, if you want to paint the underbody, but overall the car is really solid. The only part of rust that I've really noticed has been right there on the corner of this door. Cold start. What you want to do is pull the choke all the way forward. You actually want to like pull on it another 1/2 inch. starts right up. Choke works perfectly, but you do need to let this thing warm up a little bit. If you turn the choke off right away, it's gonna die. So leave the choke on for the first few minutes when you're driving. You can see we got good oil pressure, good voltage, no temp yet. We do need to go get some gas. So that's gonna be our first trip of the day. The shift pattern on these old Jags is 1, 2, 3, 4, reverse it to the left and down. You're gonna find that you need to kind of slap it into reverse. The more you use it, the easier it gets, but if you're not used to it, it does need a little more effort than modern cars. Hey, gorgeous.
Hello.
Oh, I got the e-brake on, which works perfectly. There we go. So I'm going to be living dangerously. The seatbelt mechanism in this car on the driver's side has failed.
Oh.
So the seatbelt does not retract. So yeah, no seatbelt for the driver in this one. Ride or die.
Car seat I've ever sat in.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like not heavily bolstered, but I feel like I'm in it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that it's warmed up, I don't think I'll need to touch the choke and it should start right up.
Nice. Over there.
When you're not on the throttle, it's really quiet, and then when you give it a little bit of gas, it sounds good when you're on it, but then when you're just cruising, it's nice and quiet. Car does need an alignment, but it drives straight with the steering wheel. Not so much.
Back, yeah.
So it's technically still a Series 1 car because most of it's Series 1, but this was the crossover year between Series 1 and Series 2.
Somebody put a different transmission in it, right?
Yeah, it's a Jaguar 4-speed. I'm not really sure the specs on it, but there's no grinds. Shift's really nice. Clutch is good. This is like the definition of a Sunday drive.
Yeah.
It's so comfy.
photos.
Here's a shot of the back end. All right, let's go through the car. It's got 2 new fuel pumps and inline filters. I cleaned both gas tanks with vinegar and baking soda. This is the original spare, at least I did not replace this, but it's a very old tire, but it's in really good shape because it's been in the trunk of this car forever. This wheel, however, is more corroded than all of the other wheels, which is why I put it as a spare, because it used to be outside the car. Back bumper is pretty straight. It could be polished up or replated. It does have a really cool sticker that says Torrey Pines Ski Club, which is cool. Twin gas tanks that you can lock right here. Brand new tires, still have the blue coating on the white wall, so up to the next owner to take that off. Interior on this thing is actually pretty decent. I'm not going to say it's show car material, but there's no tears anywhere on the upholstery. All the door panels are great. The wood does have, you know, some varnish peeling off of it. Passenger seats in great shape. Both of the headliners though are kind of disintegrating foam, so they look a little floppy. To make sure your makeup's perfect, it shows if you're traveling over 100 miles an hour what to inflate your tires to, which is cool. There's a nice little cubby down here for things. That's the original owner's manual and certificate of ownership. All the floor mats are in pretty nice shape and accounted for. This is the shifter. Again, I don't know how exactly it was converted. Right here was originally a cruise control trip computer. In here, got a nice little storage cubby with some spare fasteners. Another storage cubby right here. It is missing one of these, and this is how you access the fuse panel on an XJ6. Basically loosen this, and there is all your wiring. Pretty slick. Brand new old stock leaper, because it was missing on this side. And now we get to the best part of this car, which is the 4.2 inline 6 XK motor, styled off of a V12 Merlin, but scaled down. We built all these HD8s with brand new parts. You can see it had a brushed finish right there and polished a bunch of the other parts. It's got 3 individual racing air filters. It's got all new spark plugs. These little brass things right there, that was where the smog pump originally was. This has been desmogged. I got rid of all that stuff. On this side, you can see, again, I've just refurbished the valve covers, keeping it pretty clean. And the smog pump was right here. It still has the air conditioning pump. It does not work. That's originally where this hose went to. But if someone wants to rehook up the air conditioning, everything is there except for a hose. Driver's side door panel. The driver's seat has a little bit more wear, but again, no tears anywhere. So it's very comfortable. The steering wheel has been wrapped. The radio does work. This is a switch for the antenna. Both of the pillar lights are working. Sometimes that one does not work.
Okay, so we've been parked for a while taking some photos and video for Mr. Photographer Man over here, and this thing had better start again because it's really, really hot where we've been baking in the sun.
What do you mean? No shade whatsoever?
No,
Asphalt? Yeah. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look at her go. All right. Look at that.
Let's get out of here.
Yes. All right, let's go for a rip. Oh God, I didn't mean actual rip. choose my words more carefully. It's such a comfy ride. It's really surprising.
Yeah, it drives more like a modern car than you think.
Yeah.
After driving it, I really understand why this car was so successful and why they didn't change the body for like decades. The Series 1 though definitely looks the coolest. This way. Overall, I love this car. But we have way too many cars right now, and I've got other projects to finish and a lot of life decisions. 11 cars is too many. It's too many because everything is just constantly going to hell. So I need to narrow my focus here.
Did you ever think you would hear him say that? I didn't. I'm very proud. There's only so many weeks in a year, you know? You gotta prioritize.
Driven this thing about 200 miles. I'm not gonna say it's been the most reliable car I've owned because I've broken down a few times. One was the fuel filter clogged, and I had to replace the fuel pump because the filter was part of the pump. So now I have separate filters in front of the fuel pumps that you can clean out. But right now, as of this moment, the thing is running beautifully.
Where's the wood? There's wood in this car. You knock on that. There you go. Come on now. Yeah, you were working out the kinks is all. You had to figure out what needed love.
Yeah, I mean, this was a pretty ambitious project for me because it's a British car, which is not known for reliability, and it's a complicated one, and it's old. So,
and it's been modded by someone else before you.
And it was modified. So I rolled the dice on it because it was rust-free. It was from California. And it had the triple carbs and the manual. If it had just been a normal XJ6 with twin carbs and an automatic, probably wouldn't have bought it because whatever. But this drivetrain is really unique because the parts are worth more than this car. You can get an XJ6 in this condition with an automatic and twin carbs for the price of the triple carbs and manual swap. So there's really no reason for this car to exist. It costs more to build it than what makes sense financially. But it was done by this dude who was an aircraft mechanic, and he obviously knew what he was doing because it works pretty well.
So you're telling me it's basically an airplane?
It got that airplane feel. I love these gauges right here. Makes me feel like I'm gonna go shoot down some Messerschmitts or something.
Twisty way, huh?
Well, we made it back, Sarah. Did you think that was going to happen?
I had my doubts.
Me too! But to celebrate, we're going to have a pint, or at least just a beer, right? It's also why I'm wearing a fancy hat and Sarah's wearing a gorgeous dress, because we are very classy people with classic Jaguars.
Okay. You wanted to be British today. You should have been speaking with an accent.
Actually, you should just take your tooth out.
No, I'm good. Thanks.
All right, what do you think of this thing?
It is a very comfy ride, a very classic, very nice car, even though it is the very desirable Pale Primrose Yellow that Sarah does not desire.
If it had been British Racing Green, I think I would like it a little more, but it is really cool because it's a very rare color.
It also goes really well with the tan interior, I'll say. Like, it kind of,
yeah,
it vibes. But
Although we did not reach my dream of driving this thing to Hollywood, California.
And maybe someone will take it to California.
I have put a couple hundred miles on this thing. I drove this thing an hour away and put new tires on it on the freeway going 75 miles an hour at night.
Why?
And it drove beautifully. I mean, it's a killer car. I've never really considered myself an XJ6 guy, but after owning this one, if I had the chance to buy a Series 1 XJ6 again, and I had way fewer cars, I would strongly consider it because the driving dynamics of this thing, I mean, it's not a sports car, but it's a sporty big sedan. And
a sporty cruiser.
Yeah, the combination of that giant inline six that's super torquey with a manual is pretty great, but I think that the magic sauce is the Jaguar suspension.
The other thing I'll say too is after a couple of BMW, old like vintage BMW projects that you've done, then sitting in this car, it was like sitting in a cloud. It was like, oh wow, this is luxurious. Like everything is, the details were really nice and everything was really comfortable, and you know, like they didn't skimp, I'd say, on the dash and especially by comparison.
Yeah, it's like the Bavaria up there feels like an economy car.
Right.
It's very minimal,
compared to this,
but then you have like wood and all these really nicely made details. The so many gauges. A lot of chrome.
It'll actually work. Like I don't. Yeah.
And then you have this. I believe this is horsehair too. It's shaved. So a lot of natural materials in here. A lot of dead animal, which is the ultimate in luxury.
That's not a Sarah spec.
But it's a really cool car. And in terms of Series 1s, actually, in terms of XJ6s, I don't think it comes much cooler.
No.
You have Series 1, short wheelbase, manual transmission, triple SUs. And 4.2, not 3.8 liter or 2.8 or what, any of those. This is the biggest 6-cylinder they made of the XK.
That's what she said?
Yeah. I'm pretty happy with how this thing turned out. I am going to miss it a little bit, but right now we are overwhelmed with stuff to do in terms of cars, boats, places.
Yeah.
Life is really
chaotic. We'll just say chaotic.
Yeah, and so we're trying to minimize, because having anything working, it's eventually not going to work. And when you have too many things, it's impossible to stay on top of it. So I am very proud of what we did with this thing. Yeah. And how much I learned.
There's not so much a we. It was definitely
well, you were supportive.
It helped a little.
Ish. And for road trips, I mean, this trunk is huge. All right, and with that, cheers, Sarah. We're gonna say goodbye to our XJ6. I don't know if we'll ever have another Jag, but I had a good time, and it was very satisfying to get this thing back on the road and have some fun with it.
Yeah, what is it? Grace, space, and pace, right?
And burnouts.
And burnouts.
Hopefully the next owner continues to push this thing and has many more adventures. It is a fantastic car, and I'm happy we had it, but it's gotta go.
You did good. You saved it. I love the at center emblem here too.
It's like the most badass thing to see on your steering wheel.
Just like, yeah.
Look how little you look in here.
I know. I'm like, hi.
I feel little in it too. It's weird because it's like not a very big interior.
Yeah.
But you sit so low.
Yeah, and there's so much leg room, so it actually feels pretty,
You gonna miss it?
A little bit. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna miss how much you enjoyed working on it. I'll say that. You learned a lot.
And I had a great time. All right. Till next time, dudes.